Welcome back to DBL. Thousands of men and women have been released from prison for being wrongfully convicted. But what about those who are still fighting to clear their name? In today's Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, you'll hear the story of Tyra Patterson. She's a convicted woman who maintains her innocence and is currently trying to get exonerated. We spoke with her earlier.
The year is 1994. Teenage sisters Holly and Michelle Lay are sitting in their car with friends. 18-year-old Tyra Patterson and her friend Becky are also in the parking lot. A small group approaches the car and tries to rob the teens. Holly calls out for help.
Not only did I try to stop the actual culprits to leave them alone, I also called 911 after Michelle Lay was shot and killed.
Tyra is taken in for questioning. While there, she says police coerce her into confessing to the robbery. Portions of her interrogation are taped.
I don't know I still don't know which one got shot.
LaShawna Keeney pleads guilty to Michelle's murder. And even though Tyra says she doesn't know LaShawna, police say Tyra is her accomplice.
I'm in the homicide investigations office, sitting with Tyra.
Under Ohio law, accomplices to murder can get the same punishment as those who pull the trigger. So Tyra is charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated murder.
I wanted to get on stand, and my friend Becky wanted to get on stand, and they told me that because I talked to Hood, that the white jurors would eat me alive.
Tyra's 911 call is never entered into evidence, and her taped confession is played for the jury.
There was no defense. All that I heard was what the prosecution had to say.
A 12-person jury finds Tyra guilty, and she is sentenced to 43 years to life in prison. While behind bars, Tyra, who is a middle school dropout, learns to read and write. She earns her GED and engineering license and becomes a paralegal.
I started writing letters. After I gained my education, I was able to formulate letters, and I started to send them to different places until finally somebody heard me.
David Singleton from the Ohio Justice and Policy Center takes Tyra's case. He and his team start a movement to humanize her story.
More than 1/4 of prisoners exonerated by DNA evidence have been shown to have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. I should know, I am Yusef Salaam, one of the Central Park Five, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Hill Harper. I'm an author, an actor, and I am Tyra Patterson.
I'm Alfre Woodard, and I am Tyra Patterson.
Then, a staggering change to her case. The victim's sister, Holly, who was in the car during the murder, comes forward and stands with Tyra.
It took 21 years, but she finally did it, and her coming forward meant everything to me.
In 2016, Holly writes a letter to the Ohio governor telling him Tyra is in prison for crimes she did not commit.
A lot of people ask me, are you angry that the victim took so long? I said, absolutely not. I said, she lost something dear to her heart, you know? I lost my freedom, but she lost her sister.
In 2017, after 23 years in prison, Tyra is granted parole. She is released from prison on Christmas Day.
Tyra, thank you for joining DBL and sharing your story. So you are currently on parole and you are trying to clear your name. Tell me this, what would an exoneration mean to you?
I want my name back. I want my name back. I want my rights back. I want to be able to travel the country and speak to the juveniles that I speak to. But every time I go to a university, organizations, I have to go and stop to the police station to get their permission to be in their state. And I'm doing something really constructive with my time. Like, having my name back will mean everything to me. It will mean everything to my family. It will mean everything to our community.
Well, let's talk about Holly Lay, because she came forward when you were still in prison and shared her story. So how did she share her story and what did she say?
Holly Lay is most definitely the hero in this because she did not have to come forward. But she called up my attorney and said, I have something that I would like to share with you. But I want you to meet me at my sister's grave on my sister's birthday. Wow. So he went there. She cries and she tells my attorney how much she misses her sister and that she wishes that she was here. And the conversation went on for hours. And then finally she said, everything that you all are saying about Tyra, I was there. She did not commit these crimes and she tried to help. I was so scared to go against my family. She was like, however, this is eating me alive. I know what happened that night. I called Tyra over to the car and I want to help free her.
Wow. Well, because of active litigation, you actually haven't been able to meet with Holly face to face. But when you are allowed to meet, what will you say to her?
I just want to hug her because she has struggled so much. Like, I want to hug her and I want to thank her. I wish I could do so much more for her, and I will. But I just want to hug her and thank her, and because of her advocacy and her courage to come forward.
And speaking of advocacy, you have become quite the advocate while you were serving your time, and you got your degree and you became a paralegal. So all these things. So I mean, clearly you're driven. I have to know, what are your goals for the future?
My goal is to change the ecosystem for returning citizens. Oftentimes when we're let out of prison, we're relegated to menial jobs. I want meaningful opportunities for people who are coming home, because we are going to be your neighbors. And we need the right resources out there, not just telling us where to go, but we need somebody to hold us by the hand, and so that we can be successful.
Tyra, thank you. And to our DBL Nation watching right now, if you want to follow Tyra's unfinished story, check out her Instagram and her Facebook. And also keep an eye out for her new documentary that will be coming out next year. Visit IamTyraFilm.com. Tyra, thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.